What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Lucas Live News. My name is Lucas Tyndale.
And I'm your host, Danny Williams.
And we're excited to be here with you guys this evening. We have very special guests in the building tonight.
Very special.
If you're watching us live or by replay, make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit that share button, hit that like, hit those hearts. Show us some love, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching from. We appreciate you guys being here. And we're excited. How you feeling today, Danny?
I'm feeling better. So I was in here yesterday, and there was something going on in my eye, and I couldn't see. And if you caught us on TikTok Live, Lucas was talking about me being some kind of like pirate girl because he brought me an eye patch, but it was actually needed. Eye patch and eye drops.
I thought that was going to be your new thing. I thought you were going to be
wanted to make it my new
Pirate
thing, and
Danny.
I couldn't accept that. I was not about to go out like the pirate Danny.
You was rocking the pirate eye, though. I was like, that's her thing.
But I didn't want to rock it. I wanted to be back.
I didn't know.
And I came not even back. You see, I got the big bifocals on. You know, I woke up with a swollen eye.
I thought those were trifocals. Did you know there's a such thing?
Oh, we got all the jokes.
It's like you're trying to see. I got trifocals. I'm just trying to see stuff. I'm hoping.
Don't get me started. Don't get me
started. All right.
We ain't gonna do that.
All right, we ain't gonna fight on. We ain't gonna fight on camera.
No, not on camera.
Off camera later.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we do have some special guests in the building, and Lucas, you know, he dedicated Lucas Live News to me, and then here you go, just opening, just doing the whole welcome to Lucas. That's my part.
Is that your part?
Yeah, and then you kind of come on and say, I'm Lucas, you know, and you know.
I'll remember that next time. I'll be forgetting. You know, sometimes, you know, people put their name on stuff and they just be like, I'm it.
You just think it's your name on it. It's just belongs.
It's just mine. So whatever. All right. Got it.
Don't do that.
Right.
So on top of the guests that we have tonight, which I'm really excited about, I can't wait for you guys to meet them and hear from them.
Yes.
We also have our first ever, not ever, but like our first real live game show tonight.
Official.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're giving away $25 to whoever wins the games. Lucas, did you figure out what games we're playing yet? No, not yet. Probably not. You probably didn't.
I probably didn't.
Oh, you did? You didn't?
You think that I'm not ready for the games?
I think you're always prepared.
Already.
I think you're well prepared.
Tonight, our test game is going to be it's going to be a quiz game. It's going to be Q&A. It's going to be some questions.
So they got to get this right. They got to know a little something, huh?
Yeah, it's called Closest Guess. So actually, the answers are a number or a year. And so whoever gets the closest or guesses the exact dates or measurements or whatever the numbers may be are going to be the people who win. And our new software that we're using is going to track all that. We're testing it out. So we do appreciate your patience as you guys join us. Hopefully tonight at 7:30, you guys will jump in and participate. You will have a chance to win $25. And if you're a business owner who would like to donate a prize to future games, please reach out to us. You can reach out to us at ads@lucaslivemedia.com. Or you can just inbox us and say, hey, I'd like to give away a $25, a $50, or $100 gift card if you guys will put me in your game show or put my business in your game show, and we can talk about it. We're going to say, no, it's $1,000 minimum. But other than that, no, we really want to do that. So reach out to us, and we will let you know. What's going on, Shamar?
Hello. Welcome. Hey, if you're in the chat, make sure you share it. Let everybody know that we're on. And we're getting ready to talk to some of our guests from the reality of real estate. So if you're trying to buy a home in 2024, this is the place to be because the gems are getting ready to get dropped. I know.
Yeah, we got to find out if I know Chris has his lender's license in multiple states. He's going to talk about that today.
Yeah, can't wait.
I don't know if he's in Connecticut, though. But if he's in Connecticut, Shamar is here from Connecticut.
Okay,
so
girl.
if he's not, though, we'll push him to go back to school, get his doctorate in lending or whatever he's got to do because you got to take care of our girl Shamar. All right?
Yeah, for sure.
No pressure. All right?
Listen, so, you know, every year we have some big celebrities coming to the city for the Hall of Fame game, right? Hall of Fame game in the black HBCU Classic has been super big here in Canton. And some news just dropped that Carrie Underwood will be coming to Canton August 4th for the Hall of Fame concert. Guys, if you did not get your tickets, just know they went on sale today. So you need to go to the HOFvillage.com to make sure you secure your tickets so that you can be in the building for the Concert for Legends to see Carrie Underwood Sunday, August 4th at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, y'all.
Danny, you trying to go?
Yeah, listen, you know what? Not only am I trying to go, I'm trying to go and be media. Like, you know, when we went to the Black Classic and we had the necklaces on, we were media. It's no lie. I don't know, this ain't embarrassing. It's still hanging up in my car. Right now, because I was proud of that. I was like, I'm media. My name's on this chair. Yes. And I got the, and I can be on the field and stuff, that. So it's still hanging up in my car. So when I go to see Carrie Underwood and I sing my heart out, it's going to be with the media team.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. Corinne, what's going on? Thank you for being here.
Hey, sister. Hey, sister. Hey, shout out to Corinne and Lucas. They just celebrated an anniversary last Wednesday. Shout out to y'all.
We did. We were supposed to do a show that day, and I was like, I'm going to be busy.
I told you to cancel it. I was like, no, we're not.
You didn't have to tell me to cancel them.
I didn't have to tell you that. You was like, you know what, Danny?
I was like, listen.
My wife is more important than all of this.
That day, I was like, today
we're not doing it.
we shut it down.
Like, as you should.
So let me tell you what we did though. See, I don't know, and this as a man, I'm man enough to tell you, I had went and got $100 pedicure. And somebody told me they shouldn't cost that much, but we went to Gervasi. And I was like, okay.
That's a wine place.
So we had the wine, we had the grapes, we had the chocolate.
And you were getting your feet done?
And I was getting my feet did. That's what my wife said, you got to see you got them did.
Oh,
I was like, babe, you want to go do that? Because I just want to do a couple things. You know, I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm down. And then, you know, it was great. It was cool. You know, it's different. As a man, you don't normally have people massaging your feet and whatnot. You know what I mean? And then it's some young lady, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, that's not weird at all. Lady, you could hurry up and finish this.
You got to just like block them out. You got to just, you know, enjoy the moment.
She was cool.
Have you ever seen the little fishes that eat the dead skin off your feet?
I think I have.
Would you try that?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But you know, I think I seen it. I think I seen it a time or two. Probably not. Yes.
Hey, listen. So my son plays in AAU basketball, right?
Yes.
I call him my bonus son. He is 10 years old, okay? And I just happened to be online and I seen that there are 4 young men in our city that are looking for donations to go to Morocco. So there are 4 boys from Canton City, this Canton City School District, right? And they have been chosen along with other 8th grade young men from the Stark County and Summit County area to be a part of the youth exchange program. And they're going to Morocco this summer. So they're going to go there for a 7-day mission trip. And they're looking for donations, okay? So they need to be able to travel to Morocco, and they need your guys' help in the community, all right? So they need money for their plane tickets, and they're taking money for that until March. But they're taking donations up until June, is what they said, until June. So they need help, y'all, and we want to help here at Lucas Live Media, Lucas Live News. We want to help get these boys to Morocco for this 7-day mission trip. If you guys are interested in helping, I need you to contact Latrice Virola.
Yes.
Okay. At 330-437-8953. Or we will put this in the chat, guys, too. Latrice Virola. Say that. Virola. At Yahoo, at hotmail.com. Okay. And you guys can also, if you know anything about the Varsity Athletic Club, you guys can go down there and make your donations there. You can make it for the whole team or for just these 4 boys. So it's super easy. Make it really easy for you guys to do that. And if you guys want any other additional information, go ahead and follow the VAC, Varsity Athletic Club, and reach out to Miss Latrice. But let's help get these boys over to Morocco. I think that's going to be a great thing for them. And, you know, I told Lucas, I was telling you the other day, I cheered at McKinley. And there were a lot of us that made the All-American team. And that would allow us to go to New York or Hawaii or wherever they were having these parades and be able to be a part of it. Well, obviously, it costs a lot of money. So a lot of us never really went. So I was like, hey, I love this. I want to be able to help them to get over there because I wasn't able to do it. So I'm glad they're reaching out to the community, reaching out for support, and we want to support them here at Lucas Live Media.
Absolutely. Shout out to Latrice. She also works at SARTA. She is the host, one of the hosts of Next Stop, SARTA's podcast, which is produced here at Lucas Live Media Studio One. So shout out to them. We're excited for the work that they're doing, and season 2 is going to be coming soon. And Latrice and SARTA are so active in the community. If you go to almost any community event, you'll see SARTA there somewhere passing out things, supporting things. You may go to things and not even know how much they've donated or dedicated in time and resources. So make sure you guys check them out. And then make sure you check out these great boys in this great trip that they're going to be able to take. Imagine being able to go to Africa.
Man, imagine it.
Like
imagine
as a child, as a young person, as a teenager, It's amazing.
I want to go right now.
I'm ready to go too.
I'm ready to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we out. Everybody here is going to Africa.
Yeah, we go. We going in March. We're just going to go with them. So
yes.
Donations for us too.
Right. If y'all can donate
But keep in mind, though, that's going to be the most expensive thing for these boys to get there is the plane ticket. So while they are taking donations until June, let's help them right now because they want to get their plane tickets in March, which, like any of us that travel, we need to get this stuff done early. Yeah. So let's try to help them as much as we can right now so we can get that out the way and they can pay for these plane tickets. Speaking about sports and basketball and things like that, there's been a young lady in the community that has been blowing up, right? Her name is Kaylin Carter, and she goes to St.
Thomas Aquinas.
Lord help me.
Yes.
St. Thomas.
St. Lord help me.
You're right. St. Lord. Thank you,
Lord.
So listen, Kaylin Carter is currently the second in scoring, okay? Maya Taylor from McKinley takes the lead, averaging in 21.1 points, and Kaylin is 20.5 points. So she has been recognized as one of Stark County leaders. And I reached out to her mom because I was like, I just want to hear, do you have anything you want to say about Kaylin and all the great things that she's done? And Lucas, she had told me some great things about her daughter. Now, Kaylin is a sophomore with the 3.89 GPA. This is her second year playing on varsity. So she played varsity her freshman year and her sophomore year. Her highest scoring game was 36 points against Sandy Valley. And her mom said, listen, outside of the athlete, Kaylin is genuine and such an inclusive person. She always looks for the good in everybody and treats them according to just that. Kaylin says she aspires to go to an HBCU because she's really into Black history and the culture. She feels like it's kind of lacking where she's at, and she wants to go and be around that. Her career choice right now is kind of undecided, but something with sports, she said. She said sports medicine or management, something like that. But her mom said, overall, she is just a great daughter to me. She said she helps out with her youngest siblings. She has a big heart. Her positive energy is just so contagious. And she makes everyone around her just feel better and gives her and, people around her just a better perspective on life. So shout out to Kaylin Carter. We're so proud of you. We see what you're doing. And we just wish you all the best in all your future endeavors. And congrats to being the second one in Stark County.
Yes, congratulations. Yes. Super cool. Big fan. Girls basketball deserves more support. It's a tremendous sport. The girls are always so tenacious, and they're out there going for it and playing so great. So shout out to her at St. Thomas Aquinas. Shout out to the young lady at Canton McKinley. And shout out to a great county of great athletes, boys and girls, in multiple sports. I'm looking forward to track season this year. My daughter will be a freshman at Hoover for her first high school track season. Okay. So we're excited about that.
I'm excited about that.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Y'all got to come check her out. My girl, she can move.
If you don't know, Corinne still holds a record, I think, in the 200-meter dash at Akron. Yep. So to see baby girl follow mom's footsteps, I'm excited for that.
Right. You tried to make it like I'm slow, though. I don't, you know what I'm saying? What's up with me, though?
You
know what I'm saying?
Any records?
Well, I got a couple albums at my house. I got records, but I don't, I don't brag.
You
talking about records? Oh yeah, no, I don't get none of those. Okay, all good.
But your wife and your daughter's name will soon be up.
Yes, all good. All right, you guys, if you're checking out this broadcast, make sure you hit that share button and share this broadcast so others can check it out. Even if you're watching by replay, feel free to hit that share so that others can know that we are out here sharing this great content, especially for those in our area and for people watching from anywhere around the world. We appreciate you guys here at Lucas Live Media on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys for checking us out. And today at 7:30, we're going to have our very first special Lucas Live Games. The Lucas Live Games. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're kicking it off. We're going to have some fun. We're going to give away a prize, and we're going to build this thing to where we're going to have more games, more prizes each week that you can participate in and have a chance to win. There's going to be a variety of different games each week. So stay tuned. Check that out. Say you're one of the first ones to participate in this great thing that we'll be doing. All right.
So we're getting ready to transition into our guests. And before we get to them, you guys, check out this clip from the Reality of Real Estate. Chris and Bree.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the Reality of Real Estate podcast. I am one of your hosts, Christopher Lynch, and welcome my co-host.
Hey everybody, my name is Brianna Lehman.
We give you a real take on making homeownership attainable.
We will be breaking down real-life scenarios, trends in the current market, and giving you our personal tools to make homeownership not just your dream, but your reality.
Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and ready to take action towards building your own empire.
Because when you invest in real estate, you aren't just purchasing a home, you're investing in your future.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the Reality of Real Estate podcast.
Where do we look? You?
What's up?
What's up, you guys? Oh, we back. Look, let's keep it real. That was like, wait.
Right. We were too.
I
Like,
said,
wait.
me, camera, and
Yeah,
there.
that's our
anyway.
main shot.
So,
And then you have a camera on you, and
it's all good.
we're good.
Oh, my mic.
Oh, they can't even hear
They can't
you. What
even hear
happened?
me, man.
You was talking.
So
What
next
happened?
time we'll
We
make
got
this
you.
more seamless,
Yeah.
okay? It's gonna be like you're gonna be like, wait, they were just
did they
there
do
and
that?
now in So all right, next time.
We got it.
Welcome.
Thanks
Nice.
for having
and
us.
Bree.
Yeah.
They're like, what did we just walk into?
Yeah.
They look so
I know. They're
funny.
like, what happened? They're used to being here, but they're here
We
in a
are.
different capacity
Yeah.
normally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
We're used to having time out.
oh yeah,
What's
Yeah,
the time
'cause it's
so
not
tell our
live.
viewers? All right, so Chris and Bree record their podcast here. So tell
Mhm.
our viewers what's the timeout? What's that?
When what we're saying, we're like, nope, this is not it.
Yeah.
Time out.
Need a timeout.
Redo.
They don't use too many timeouts, though. To be honest,
Do any?
well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I am kind of a tough producer. They do feel probably nervous because I'd be like,
I heard someone called you Suge Knight.
"Did you,
Mhm.
Shook?"
Yeah, Suge. They called you Suge. It's okay. It's all right.
That
I'm not
I
gonna
wanna
call
be-
him out or anything.
I don't
but-
want to be Shook.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to get out, you just got to tell them what it is. You got to go. No, they do a wonderful job. Their chemistry is amazing. So, Chris and Bree, two people who I've known for a long time. Bree, you saw it today as our friendiversary
I know.
of some sort on Facebook.
Yeah.
At
Oh
least.
wow! Congratulations.
11 years.
11
I know.
years. How long
I
have
think it's
really
longer
known?
than
It
that.
has to be.
It was. I
Because
don't
you were
know.
19,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
We
I was
met.
19.
I've known
Yeah.
him for 10 years, and you were
Yeah.
working in the daycare before I even got to the daycare.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
got
so
to be
it's
longer.
Yeah.
longer
Did you
than
work
that.
at the daycare?
Not with you.
She did, though.
Oh
Why
my
you have to
God.
look at the-
We all worked at the daycare.
Yeah, I work. Well, I'm just saying. I didn't mean to say that. Did I say it like real aggressive? My bad. I'm just saying like, oh wow, did that come off like?
No, it didn't.
Don't do me
It
like
didn't.
that.
It's all good.
You're fine.
You know, I'm
you're
like,
fine,
yeah, not with you, but
Yeah.
I worked there in 2013 when I
Mhm.
was fresh back from my first year of college, and I was like, I'm gonna be a teacher. Let's go to the daycare
Yeah, that
and
was
work
my
with
path
kids.
too.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Yep.
be a teacher. We're gonna do this, and I started taking kids home from the daycare. Remember?
Oh, yeah, you
And
did.
I
You
was
really
stealing
made it a
kids.
thing. She
I
was.
was stealing them.
Parents came in, they were like, "Is my kid here?" I'm like, Sarah, Bree, she took them with them. And it was like,
Don't worry,
okay.
I'll bring them back.
right, they didn't care.
But
They didn't
yes.
care. They
So
didn't care.
it's funny that you said that. That was supposed to be your passion, right?
Yeah.
Is
Mhm.
teaching, and now where are we at?
We are here, real estate.
Real
It's my passion.
estate.
Actually, I left the center
You did.
to start selling real estate.
Really?
You were taking realtor classes,
Yep.
and you were up front. You were like, "I'm going to take classes to become a realtor."
Mhm.
And I was always the kind of boss that was like, "I know this isn't people's end game, so I'm like,
Right.
whatever kind of schedule we got to
Mhm.
have here,
Mhm.
we're gonna figure it out, and whatever
Yeah.
you need to do to go where you're gonna go in life." Because I just appreciated you were my daughter's preschool teacher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Savannah.
Was. I know.
So,
and now she's
yeah.
a freshman.
She's a
See,
freshman.
it's been longer.
It's been longer than that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
when she was a freshman.
Wow.
Because this is year 10 in real estate for me.
Wow.
So
that
that
is crazy.
I know.
But you know what? It's not because it all lines up because I met you when we were doing Corinne's
Yes. the
trailer for her
book.
book.
And you think her name is Lily?
I had to delete. So your
Today.
name has been just now.
Today,
Oh my
she
God.
changed
No,
her
no,
name.
no. I didn't think her name was Lily.
I know you did.
I knew her. I know what your name is. But when it popped up in my phone, it says Brianna.
No one knows
Quote,
what my name
quote,
is.
Nobody knows?
No.
Quotes
Bree,
Lily.
Sarah,
Yeah,
now
like,
it's
Lily.
because that was her name in the movie was
Mhm.
Lily. So I don't know.
You guys did a wonderful job too. Shout out to that. That was super
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
We should have that ready to play. And then I met Christopher, but I met him as Topher.
Yes.
And I was like, I never met anybody named Topher. And then years later, or maybe like somebody was like, his name was Christopher. I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay, that makes sense. I thought his name was
Really,
like,
Danny?
I just got it just now.
oh.
my
This is how this couch is. How many times are you guys on the show and you learn something about each other?
Yeah.
And y'all be
Right.
like, I didn't know that.
Because honestly, you had commented on one of the posts, and I'm like, who is this guy? And I was like, oh shoot, that's him. Yeah. And it was
Topher
like
Lynch.
Topher Lynch, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I'm like, who?
But it used to be what?
It used to
Artez?
be, yeah, Topher Artez.
And I
Like
thought
Artez
that
is
was
part
his
of
last
my middle name.
Okay.
But
So,
yeah.
well, you know what? I can't talk because my Instagram name was my name spelled
It
backwards for a
was.
long
And
time.
that wasn't confusing.
Yeah, people, whatever. You
Like,
got
who is
to
Ella
catch
Dad?
up.
Ella did it.
Literally, people would
Ellen
write me like,
did it.
"Hey, Ellen Dad." I'm like, "Dang, that is not my name. That's my
Yeah.
name
Ellen
spelled backwards, y'all."
Ella did it.
Hilarious, hilarious.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I am a mortgage lender, and I have been there's just different sides of this that you can do. But on this side of lending, just 100% residential, been doing this for 4 years now. But in lending total for a total of 8.5.
Okay.
So yes.
And your mom
Yes,
also
and my mom
is a competitor of yours.
She is
Not a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, we
She
don't
should have
really-
just got out the game when you got in. You're like, Mom, retired.
No,
does.
she won't. But no, like it's a good thing. So technically, I guess
Mhm.
you could say I've been in a mortgage office since the age of 5.
Wow. So
So
it's just your
yes.
thing. What's a typical day in your life look like?
Well, I thought I was leaving my office today at 5, and that didn't
Mhm.
happen.
Oh.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
So it depends. So every day is different. To where Mondays are usually like the craziest day because whatever you didn't handle over the weekend, you
Mhm.
really have to catch up on.
Yeah.
Or like if that's when contracts are coming in and things like that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
getting with my team to say like, hey, like disclosures have to go out. But outside of that, every day it's different.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Some days you can stop by a wonderful pastry shop called Stuffed Pastries. Make sure you guys check that out. A place we have now known and loved. Shout out to our production manager, Tiff. She also works at Stuffed Pastries.
Yeah.
They have some amazing things there. They introduced me to Nutella. And then I found myself at Walmart at around midnight just looking for
Introduced
Nutella.
him. Isn't that crazy?
That is
Nintendo's
crazy.
been out forever, and he just now tasting it.
Do we have to go
I
there
was getting ready to
again?
get on you real bad.
Do we
Let
have
me,
to go
let me
there
relax,
again?
'cause
Because
I'm
when I
getting
was a
ready to go.
kid, my wife said, "Stop acting like you was like, stop telling people about your poverty." She didn't say stop acting like you wasn't
Not
in
your
it.
poverty.
I was like,
oh my god.
Nutella. Like, I would be happy if it was like
Nutella.
Jif. I'd be like, Jif, we got Jif. This is a real thing. This is good. So
So
I
you was
understand.
eating Skippy or
We
what
was,
was-
we, no, we were-
Right,
there used to be
right.
this white can. Anyway, it was
Anyway.
like the oil came to the top. It was this big white can. You had to stir it. It would break your fork off in there or your knife. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was like government issued, and it was
Don't
it
do
was
that.
what we had. That's
Don't
what it
do
was.
that.
My mom made some amazing cookies with it, though.
That's
Shout
what
out
we
to your
used at
mom.
Smoothie King.
Yes. Well, that's what they
It
used
was
to
like
Smoothie
a
King.
white
Tell
tub,
me.
and you had to
It probably
mix
You
it.
worked there at Smoothie King?
Yes, I did.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
government.
Before that,
Stop it.
Not
Before
Smoothie
the
that's
King.
the
center.
Lucas.
Y'all
Yeah,
didn't
no, for real. He
government
just gets
peanut
his-
butter. I'm serious. That was a thing.
It probably was.
I'm not making. Y'all think I just sat here and made up a whole story?
No,
about
I
peanut
know
butter?
you're telling the truth because I encountered the
She
same
did,
thing.
right?
I mean, I didn't have the
Apparently
peanut
Smoothie
butter.
King
I
was on-
had the cheese. I
Oh,
ain't had
did
the
you?
peanut butter. Yeah,
Okay.
the cheese and the milk and all that.
All of
stuff,
that. See, I know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
mhm.
Now they call it fancy though. They call it like WIC and Women Infinite
You
Children
stop.
and stuff. No,
I'm
no,
done.
I'm saying
I know
no, it's
you're-
cool. But when you was when back in our day, it was just like anyway. That's not real. Now my wife is sitting there saying,
Okay.
"Babe, didn't I tell you to stop acting like you ain't in poverty no more?" True.
You good. It's all good.
I bought a house, and guess who my realtor was?
Who?
Brianna.
What was that
Sarah
process
Lehman.
like?
Yeah, what was that like for you? Let's talk about it.
I loved it. But back then, this is so funny because we talk about this all the time.
Uh-huh.
Lucas asked, I don't even remember, I think it was like $6,000 in closing costs concessions. And that just wasn't something we typically did.
And I asked for the lawnmower, the pool
Yeah, you
table.
did.
I was just
All the
naming
things.
all kinds of stuff, and
I-
she was like,
I was
"What
like,
am
all
I
right,
gonna
let's see. Like, let's throw it out there. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
right.
And it all happened. And now Chris and I will be like, oh, $6,000. Yeah, right. We're asking for 13.
Oh,
We're
yeah, okay, let's go. I love that.
We'll
Look at that.
restructure this.
I love
But
that."
the process was great. I mean, it was funny to me how it came full circle that
Mhm.
you were my boss and
Yeah.
mentor and like
Yeah.
guided me. We'd always have these like one-on-one heart-to-hearts in the
Yeah.
office.
Yep.
And then now I got to help you with something was like,
Aw.
wow, you trust me enough for that? Like I was a little 19
You watched me taking
Yes.
classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an honor. And I love you and Corinne so much. So,
Yeah.
and for you guys, I was so excited for you because now I'm watching you take this huge
Yeah.
step in your
Mhm.
life for your kids. And that's when Lucas
Yeah.
came, right?
Yep,
to
Lucas
live
and
with you.
Shanti,
Yep,
yep.
they
Yeah.
both came.
My two
and-
middle kids came to live with us, and we needed
Yeah.
more space, and
Yeah.
we were going through a big transition, and so we never thought about anyone else being our realtor. And it
Thank
was like
you.
we had a realtor, and I want people out there right now. You may have never met Bree, you may have never met Chris, but in your mind, you feel this drawing like, I think that's my realtor, right? Like sometimes you get that feeling. I think he might be my lender. Maybe even from Chris, maybe you're thinking, I never even knew a minority in lending. I didn't even know it was a thing. I thought I had to go to the lady at the
Yeah.
bank who'd be looking at me funny and be looking like she's looking at me and looking at the police and looking at me and looking at the officer like,
Right,
can you
right.
make them hurry up and leave? Get them out of the bank as quick as possible.
Oh my
But
God.
y'all don't ever had that feeling. I be going to the bank. I feel like they want me to leave. They don't think I got money.
Oh,
Like this is rough. But Chris is someone who you may feel like he could be your lender. And Bria is
Ooh.
somebody who I think, and even through your podcast, we want people to feel that, like,
Mhm.
because it's such a
Yes.
vulnerable space.
It is
And
vulnerable.
to the lending part with Chris, when you got people going through your credit, ask you about your
Yeah.
pay, the stuff you didn't pay, what is
Mhm.
this about? You feel so. And Chris, maybe you can speak to us a little bit about this. To be honest, it can make you feel like less than. You're trying to qualify to do something that you've been told
Yeah.
since a child, that everybody has the right to own a home,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
this person gets to look through all your personal stuff and tell you whether you can pre-qualify or something. Talk to us about your feeling about walking with people through that journey.
Well, I am a big advocate for just meeting people where they're at. I
Mhm.
also believe that life can happen to anybody.
Yep.
So where you might have it together today, your world could come crashing to an end tomorrow. And
Right.
the next thing you know, like what you thought wasn't going to be your situation is your situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it's not that we're being invasive.
Yeah.
It is that like I don't want to look at your credit report and put my own story together because it's not my
Right.
story.
Right.
Mhm.
It's yours.
Or an
Mhm.
assumption of,
Yeah.
oh, they were irresponsible
Yep.
just from looking at
And
it.
like, and I don't want to do that. And like, that is one thing that I can like, that I love about my job that my mom did teach me at a very early age,
Mhm.
is that everyone is human.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so like people make mistakes. They don't like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so like, I want to be able to do a credit review
Mm.
with you, ask you those questions,
Mhm.
and you can tell me what happened.
Yeah.
So like, did your hours get cut? You know, like, did you stop to take care of like a sick family member or
Yeah.
something? Like, what happened?
Mhm.
Or I can look at it and it's just like, this is a beautiful credit report. Like, let's give you some flowers today and
Right,
sign
right.
you up
Here's
and
the
take
Yeah.
you to your
home
house.
you want.
Yeah.
But if not, like, let's get you there, and I
Yeah.
can also help you get there, and
Mhm.
it's not going to cost you anything other than answering some questions and saying like, hey, sometimes like people pay things off and it's like, why, like, I didn't even know it was still there. Well, if you
Mhm.
did, so let's go ahead and get it handled, and then you can see a big difference in your score.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just there's all sorts of things, but it's truly meeting people where they're at.
Yeah, that's good.
I
Because I know
love
a
that.
lot of people out there, when it comes to buying a home or looking at your credit history, looking at your credit report, anything at all, it's like
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
one of those things you don't really want to
You
talk about
don't.
if
No.
it's in that kind of state,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
a young person, like someone that hasn't really established themselves. Like, can I buy a home?
Yeah.
I can't buy a home. So then you just X out the entire
Yeah.
thought of buying a
Possibility.
home, the possibility
Yeah.
at all. And until you come and talk to people like yourselves to kind
Yep.
of people that are going to meet me where
Yeah.
I am and say, hey, get this together and that together and you'll be good. And then there are some
Yeah.
things that we probably don't even know that is affecting us. Like you said, something that's on there that you don't even know you didn't pay off.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important. And I think that's important about your guys' podcast
Absolutely.
is
That's what I
that
was thinking.
you are educating people on the process of buying a home. And then you're making, while not even doing the process, you're making someone feel comfortable. Like, all right,
Mhm.
I'm reaching out to him, her, or somebody, and just
Yes.
see where I can get started.
Yes.
Right? Just see where I can get started.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the biggest thing. And I talk to people every day
Mhm.
that say, well, I don't think my credit's good enough, so I want to wait. I want to wait. And I'm like, well, have you had the conversation? Like, that's all
Right,
it is.
right.
Nobody has to do anything. Because a lot of times someone's going to tell you, like, this is how much I make. This is
Yep.
where I am. And he's going to know right away. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's pull it and check it out.
Yeah.
Or, all right, let's wait a couple months and figure it
Yeah,
out. So
right.
it's all a conversation because, again, a lot of people don't know what they don't know.
Mhm.
We
Yes.
say that like that should be our slogan.
The
Yeah,
tagline.
that's
If you
real.
don't know what
So
you don't
much.
know.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, we've worked with so many buyers that didn't think that they were even going to qualify to buy. And
Yeah.
then it's like,
And they do, and
Yeah.
it's just it is about having the conversation, but also it's just because sometimes like the other thing is that let's just say here, if there is a house in your mind that you want,
Mhm.
mhm,
and maybe you are not financially, credit wise, what have you, in the position to get that house,
Mhm.
that doesn't mean you can't buy a house.
mhm,
That
Right.
just means you need to buy a house to fit your current
Yeah.
situation, your current
Right.
needs, and then you let that house appreciate over
Mhm.
time, let you get some equity, and then you come back to
Yeah.
us and say, hey, I'm ready to buy my next house.
mhm.
And that
Mhm.
now that house that you had in your mind, you can
You
buy
work your
it.
way up to
Wow.
get
Yeah,
it.
and it's
Yeah.
like, but
Is that 20 or 30 years?
no,
Okay. What's that like?
it could, I mean, I have someone who bought a house last
Tuesday?
No. No.
That's
Okay. So
Tuesday
he
to
closed
get-
on his deal at the end of January of 2023,
Uh-huh.
and I just talked to him today.
Wow.
And he is like, I make more money now. I have,
Wow.
these certain things. I've done all these updates, and
Mhm.
now I want to buy the house
Like
that I really
you
want.
said.
And that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
That
you said,
fast.
lifestyle
Wow.
changes, more income.
I didn't know that.
You're
Yeah.
working on your house. Like
Yeah.
we bought. I don't know if we bought a house off of the auction, and
Yeah.
we did spend
Mhm.
probably like $15,000.
Did you?
We've done so
Wow.
much work on that house.
She
That
does.
Yeah.
Listen, she
I
leaves the
mean,
studio. Sometimes she
Yeah.
has paint in her hair. It's
I'm
okay
t-
though.
All right,
You
all
do,
right,
don't
all
you?
right. You want to tell my
She
business?
do.
No,
I'd be
yeah.
like, what is that? I was like, you got
No,
something
you
in your
trying to
hair.
pick my
That's
brainwave.
I was like,
right?
you got something in your
I
hair.
was like,
And it was like
yeah.
paint.
So yeah,
But
my-
she's really been
Yeah,
doing it.
that's
Yep,
cool.
yep. So I mean, the whole
Yeah.
house is completely different than from what we bought it, but
Yeah.
it just takes time. Like you guys said, it takes time. It takes
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and
But it's possible
but it's
for anyone.
possible.
Yeah.
Like that was a year.
Yeah,
mean,
we
that
have
was a
some
year,
clients
Yeah.
who are
right?
like every 2 years they're calling us.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Really? So I'm past due. Let me say
Yeah.
about my buying experience too. My wife said we should look to buy a home.
Mhm.
Now I was primarily making the money. I'm the one paying the bills. I'm the one looking at our situation. Like in my head, I'm like, we can't afford nothing else, and we're renting this small house, and it was doable and it was okay. And I don't know. It was a scary thought to take a jump into. I'm like, what's that
Mhm.
going to cost? And I knew you could get more house for. I understand that when you spread a mortgage out over 30 years, you could probably get a bigger house more than what you're renting at that time, right?
Mhm.
In theory. So I was like, it's possible, but then I'm like, our credit, I just didn't feel ready or worthy or willing to go through that process of judgment, quite frankly. I was like, they're going to look at all our stuff. They're going to be asking,
Mhm.
what's this and what's that? And I've been through life experiences. I've been through a divorce. I've been through many things. My kids just came back to live with me. I've changed jobs a few times. So I'm like, I don't know. But she was adamant, let's just try. And she's always open. She's always going to be cool. She wasn't going to be mad if it didn't work, but she's like, let's try. And we have somebody we can trust. So it's not that scary. Like she's not going to, like we know her. She's going to look out for us, whatever that means. So I think we looked at 2, maybe 3
Yeah,
houses.
it wasn't very many. I remember.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
like
because I remember you guys asking me like, "Is this normal?" And I'm like,
No.
"Yeah, it is."
Right,
Not now,
right,
not
right,
now,
right.
but
yeah.
yeah, like it's because that's one of the questions that when I do a buyer's consultation that
Yeah.
we say like, I've had people buy the very first house they've seen.
Mm.
I've had people I've worked with for years that have not bought myself. I look at
Right.
houses all the time, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
not it. Don't even
They
start.
talk about
Don't
this on
even
the
start.
show.
to
Check
talk
out the
about it.
Reality of
But
Real
that's the
Estate
thing,
podcast
too,
from
is,
all
like,
podcast platforms.
I am relatable to a lot of people who
Yeah.
rent because where I am, my situation is so amazing, and I'm
Yeah.
selling houses to
Interesting.
people,
Yeah.
knowing that like this is a goal, and I still do believe that buying is better than renting.
Yeah.
But I also understand the people that are in such a good situation,
Mhm.
and I'm like, look, I'm never going to pressure you. He's
Right.
never going to pressure you. We're going to
Yeah.
give you the facts, and we're
Mhm.
going to help guide you through that. But
Mhm.
I
when
love
you're
that.
ready, it's going to fall into
You're
place.
gonna
I
know.
truly
Yes.
believe that
Yeah.
every time.
So if someone's out there right now looking for a realtor or a
Mhm.
lender, what advice would you give them when it comes to selecting someone for them?
Oh,
Okay.
One, I think someone who you connect with
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
someone who brings you peace in
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Like,
Mhm.
I'm not a salesy salesperson. I try
Mhm.
not to push. Like, I will never do that. If you tell me, hey, I have to move in the next 30 days, well, that's a different
Yeah.
conversation.
Sure.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
think that having somebody, and let me be real, there are some people who I sit down with who we don't click.
Yeah.
And then
Mm.
I'm like, that's okay. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I can get you with someone you might click with,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
And you would do that.
I would do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I work
that's great.
so I work on Jose Medina's team at Keller Williams
Mhm.
and Legacy Group. I need to say that.
Yeah, it's
But
Keller Williams Legacy
I got
Group.
a lot to say there.
Jose Medina City.
But I work on a team with 10 other buyers agents. So there have been times where I'm like, hey, this person is not for me. Do you want to take it?
Right,
Whatever.
right.
But so we'll take
Right.
care of you in that way too. So
Good.
awesome.
That's good. What about a lender?
yeah. It's very similar.
Okay.
So I don't like to be sold, so I'm not going to sell you.
Yeah.
If we like each
Mhm.
other, we do. If we don't, we don't, and I understand.
Right.
And if we don't, then I can pair you with someone like on my direct team that maybe can better fit your needs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like I am big on that you have to be able to somewhat connect with them. I usually say like we need to vibe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Right.
then
sure.
like I need to know that you trust me and I can trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like transparency is
Yeah,
key. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to sugarcoat or lie to you, but I
Mhm.
also need to know that if I ask you a question, you're telling me the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
And but
Because
then
you'll
in-
find out.
yes.
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I
true.
mean,
I'm
we're
about to
gonna
look into
know.
your
I
whole
mean,
background.
right, I know everything,
Right.
baby. I can
And
find
so,
Got your
like-
social.
Right, right,
right.
I just but I that kind of sets our foundation. And so
Yeah.
if you can agree to that, it'll be a smooth sailing ride.
Mhm.
We might have some turbulence because like you'll get frustrated about maybe something that I didn't ask you about or like something that we talked about and then it comes up in underwriting.
Mhm.
And then it's just like, why are they asking me this again?
Right.
Well, we talked about it. You and the underwriter never
Mhm.
talk.
Mm.
Right.
And so like now we just have to give the information. So, but it is truly about connecting with that person initially or like within your first few conversations and just starting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're out there and you're looking to buy a home, you gotta find someone that you vibe with, someone you can trust, someone you can talk to, open
Yes.
up
Right.
to.
These
Mhm.
two.
Because you're looking to build
Yeah,
it right.
us.
These two.
I mean, what are you
That would be
talking
us.
about?
Essentially, like,
You
to
feel
build
the
a
vibes?
relationship.
Don't you
Right,
feel it right now?
right.
Let's go.
You feeling
Yeah.
the vibes? Feeling the
Yes.
vibes? So when we talk about the reality of real estate, your
Mhm.
guys' podcast,
Mhm.
you have been around your mom since you were 5 years old, working with her.
I mean, I've been around her since
well, I
birth.
mean, obviously.
At 5, he was like, you know what, Mom? I'm
Obviously.
coming home.
I'm coming home. I'm coming back.
Now that you bought this house.
Obviously, and Bree, you have been in the game for 10 years
Yeah.
now. So you guys are both very educated on what you're
Mhm.
doing. So the thought of this podcast, where did it come from, and why are you doing it?
Well, to be real, Lucas called me and
Okay, let's be real.
said, "Hey, Lucas has always had these amazing ideas, and
Yeah.
I knew he was doing like the lives because I had been
Mhm.
on your show
Yes.
when it was
You were on our show. You were one of our first sponsors when we were barely doing anything. And you were sending me money every month. I'm like, does she really trust me? This
I
place is
do,
amazing.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And I really appreciated that. But yeah.
Yeah. So he called and said, I have this idea. He didn't really know what. He just knew he wanted to do something in
Yep.
the housing
Yep.
market world. And then we brainstormed and I was
Yep.
like, let's bring a lender on. Like, let's make this a
Wow.
real. And at the time, we still didn't know. Like, are
Yeah.
we going to have different agents on every week?
Right.
And then I was like, no, we're going
Right.
to keep the.
She did.
Yeah.
'Cause here's
we're
the-
not doing that.
Here's the crazy part to fill in the blank on that story. One of my first ideas was I'm going to do a real estate shuffle of sorts where I'm going to bring on realtors who are going to pay me to come on every episode and try to vibe with people through the camera
Right.
and say why they're the person they should work with. And I'm going to have this revenue stream of ongoing realtors who are going to be like, yeah, create the
Mhm.
content, cut the clips. I'm going to give them content and bring them into this good situation and it's going to work and it's going to be this round robin of realtors,
Yeah.
right? And I called Brie and I said, you're the person I trust the most. If we do it, I want you to be a producer of it. I want you to do something. And then I said, but whatever you want to do, that's
Mhm.
what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I was like, money doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. I said, whatever you want to do, that's what we're going to do. And then we started brainstorming
Mm-hmm.
and then we're here.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I will do it. And let's bring in a lender. And I was like, well, and Chris and I have been friends for as long as I've, 18, 19
Yeah.
years old. So,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
and then obviously you connected us in the business.
Right.
I didn't even realize.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
that I was like, oh, Chris is doing lending because, life happens and
Yep.
whatever.
Shout out
So-
your friends who are doing new things.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you
it
don't
did.
know. I
Yeah.
just saw that he was doing it. He didn't call me and say he was doing it. He posted it. I saw it. I respect him. I know she's in real estate. And I
Mhm.
said, hey, did you know Chris is doing this now? She said, no, I didn't know. And now you guys work together
Yeah.
every day.
So then I called him. I was like, would you want to do this? And we worked out like, all right, well, we have to make sure we have some things, follow all the guidelines, but let's do it.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
I love that. So for anybody out there, as we wrap up the show, anybody
Mhm.
out there, if you can explain what you can take from the Reality of Real Estate podcast in a nutshell, what would you tell someone out there that hasn't watched the show, they don't know what it's about? What can you tell them to get them to watch the next episode, first
Yes,
episode,
don't
whatever
miss
you
it.
need to do? In a nutshell, just what
Am
is
I telling you or a camera?
You can tell the
you can tell
camera.
the camera.
That camera right there.
He
is
said,
what
"Who
I'm
I
at
can
you. The
talk
one on
to?
the far right.
Who
That
I
one
can
I'm
talk
talking
to?"
to.
I would say like it's an opportunity to get to know people locally, but also where some things that you might just not understand, we can give you a quick overview, but also it's a conversation starter just with you being a listener. And so by you being a listener, and that would be your first step into our conversation, taking some, keynotes from there and helping you be able to start a conversation with either one of us or a realtor that you might trust outside of us or a lender that you might trust outside of us, but at least would help get the roadmap started for you to be in a position to say like, hey, I no longer want to rent. Now I want to buy. Or if you are a current homeowner and now you just basically feel like you need to, you've kind of outgrown your home, on the next steps, on things that you can do differently this time around to buy your next home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love
Bree?
this a lot.
I would
do you
say
think?
for me, the biggest thing is one, you're going to hear how the process goes a lot. So, because that's always people are like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is overwhelming. But the biggest thing about this is I want for everybody to understand that owning a home is attainable. Like
Yeah.
for
Yes.
anybody listening,
Yeah.
like this
Mhm.
isn't, because we've talked about this on the podcast,
Right.
how we all grew up in a situation
Yeah.
where
Yep.
my
Yeah.
parents didn't own a home until
Right.
I was in high school. It
Right.
Right.
seems so far out there, and it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So
Right.
anybody can do it, and that's what we're here to do, is to help you get there.
Love
I love
that.
that.
Love that.
Listen, thank you
Yeah.
guys so
Thank
much
you.
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
on.
us.
Yes.
We're all familiar to the set. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to be here talking to you two. Producing your show is a pleasure. You
Mhm.
guys' natural banter and natural conversation.
Being in your group chat is a pleasure.
Oh, that is the highlight of days. Listen, the group chat is hilarious. We have group chats with all of our shows and all of our artists. We call them artists here at Lucas Live Media
Yes.
because they are bringing their art, they're bringing their
Yeah.
mind, they're bringing their heart to this
Yeah.
thing. It's not just this dry conversation. But that group chat is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I've been riding with them in the group chat for some months, and then I brought you and Tiff in.
Yeah,
I was like,
and I was
buckle
like, I
up,
can't
'cause
keep up, baby.
it's a
Hold
lot.
on.
Just like
And
SNL
then I
skits
go
and all kinds of
show,
stuff.
and I'm
Right,
reading, and I'm
sure.
like, oh, they are crazy, but it's a good crazy. I love
Right,
it.
it's all kind of crazy. Right.
Sometimes it's a good crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get like they try to go in on my girl Bree.
I
and
know.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm a big
Hey.
defender. Right?
Yeah,
I'm a Bree
yeah.
defender.
I
I
just gotta-
just-
I'm
yeah.
on the girl train, so
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
sorry.
so you have to defend.
Chris is on the
Topher-
island
to-
alone.
He is there alone, right?
I just don't even understand. So, I mean, like, we got to figure out a gas station name for you too, Danny.
What?
He said we'd be gassing her up.
We be
but-
gassing
and
her
we
up.
still keep doing it. We still gonna do it.
Who are
We would gas
gonna
you
be-
up
we
if
gonna
you were
do
always
D&K.
attacking me.
I know,
Dean
right? We'd be like,
Kenny.
Chris, you're doing great too. We do. We tell you all the time.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's the
Yeah.
gas chat. That's what we do.
So
we show
what I
love to our
say.
people.
If
That's what it is.
2024 is the year for you to buy a home,
Mhm.
then I think the first thing you should do is go and subscribe and listen to The Reality of
Yes.
Real Estate
Yes,
on
please.
all streaming platforms. We're on
Yes.
everything,
Yep.
wherever you
Apple,
listen to your-
Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Mhm.
And then
That's where
at
it's at.
Lucas Live Media on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and you guys can check that out. And also, can you guys tell us how they can connect with you directly?
You can email me at blaymanrealtor@gmail.com.
You can email me at christopher.lynch@ccm.com.
And you guys can follow them online on their Instagram at The Reality
Yes.
of Real Estate Podcast.
Podcast,
There
yes.
we go.
Chris
Reality
runs
of Real
that.
Estate Podcast, guys. So
He
thank
doesn't
you
get
guys
back.
again. And if y'all ready to tune into to the shenanigans,
Yeah.
you know where to find them at.
Yes. It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
All right.
all for here at the Lucas Live News. Thank you guys again. And
Thank you.
Thank
We'll see you guys
you.
today. If you're watching this live,
7:30.
7:30, we'll be back on live. We'll also be on TikTok at Lucas Live Media
Yep.
with the first ever Lucas Live games. We're going to have some fun today. We're testing some things out, so we'll see how it goes. But we're
Woohoo.
excited to bring that to you and so much more. Thank you all for being here. It was
Yeah,
a
thank
pleasure.
you.
It's
Thank
some
you.
post production. Reem is in the building.
Quiet. as a
Everybody. Her son
mouse.
is
He is
here. He's
quiet.
quiet as a mouse.
It is so good.
And he hears us talking about him. He's doing that kid thing where you hear people talking about you, but you act like you don't hear them. And you're like, finally getting my shine. I love it. It's
Been over
about
here quiet
time.
this whole time.
I
They
know.
finally letting me know I'm doing
recognizes
good.
me. Yes.
All right, you guys. We'll see you back
All right.
here at 7:30 p.m. Listen, you guys can win $25. Make sure you guys tune back in, play some games, and win some money. We'll see you guys at 7:30. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See you guys next
Bye.
time.